It's just different.
Hopeless at one point, and they have an opportunity to make you go harder, make you get in that booth and just really express that hopelessness. Like, man, y'all don't understand. This is like, you know what I mean? You dig from a different place. That bottom of your soul, that pit, homie, where you felt like the shit was, you know what I'm saying? You always wanted, but it looked like it was just not gonna happen.
Shit, in your mind it ain't gonna happen, shit, it probably won't. I took some risks, some people probably won't. That's how we're grateful for the fruits of all my labor. Hard to live and know you sick, I'd rather be with my creator, think the time's up.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Four Insight Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Obi.
I'm your boy, London Ogletree, back for some more gems. What's up, man?
Not much. Another day, another week, another episode. Just trying to bring this content for the people. What's going on your end?
Going pretty good, man. We're getting some good feedback, man. I'm kind of loving what we got going here. This is actually the start of what we got, something special. So I'm actually excited for this topic. I kind of want you to kind of go deeper into it because I'm so interested into this one. So
yeah, most definitely. So, with the first few weeks and the first few episodes that we've been doing, we were talking about some just of our initial thought process in terms of dating, relationships, what we perceive, what we've noticed, and kind of what we've been given as far as people who talk to us. And one common theme is this whole topic of loyalty and loyal men, loyal women, and people feeling like loyalty is really lost art in relationships today. And I was talking to some people I knew, and they were asking me, like, do you think women really truly want a loyal man? So I was like, well, me and London will talk about that then. We'll have this conversation. So let's get it started. So first off, just in conversations and circles and social media and also in person, it seems like women's greatest ask out of a man, aside from him having a job, is his ability to be loyal. What do you think about that? And do you agree?
Yeah, if you go by society and what the trending topic's been for the last, I'll say since we've been able to date, probably if you 20 from 25 to 30, I say like the last 10 to 12 years has been men ain't this, are you, like that's been like the trending topic on social media. So I think that's kind of where girls angle now is like, are you loyal? Like I just want a man to be loyal or support my dreams. But I definitely think number one is being loyal. So I think they have a good case of saying that. Are we loyal? Can we be loyal? And how can we execute that for being loyal? And I think that's kind of what women are asking. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that definitely women's top ask is, can they find a loyal man? Like, so much of what I see is, well, all men cheat, all men ain't ish because they can't keep it in their pants, those type of comments, right? So I think finding a loyal man, I mean, many women will argue is kind of difficult to find. And I think just us as guys and the way we talk about maybe, sort of our sexual wants, some of our sexual desires, it might seem like everybody's just out here smashing everybody. But I just think when you start to talk to people, it's really not like that. But we're going to dive into some of these details as we go on further. Now, when I was having a conversation with the person and with a few guys earlier this week, I think one complaint I heard that was pretty interesting is they were telling me, do women really truly understand what a loyal man looks like? In your opinion, what does a loyal man look like, and is it the same?
It's a good question. I don't think women kind of know what a loyal man looks like, is because I think, of course, you can sit here and be like, well, it should be mandatory that a man doesn't cheat. Mm-hmm. They're right. That part is right. But it also comes from, I always ask a woman, are you doing all the steps for your man to not want to look in a different direction? Granted, you're right. Like, I got to emphasize that because people will get that twisted and it's like, no, they should not cheat. But are you doing everything in your power to bring that housely feeling, or that woman? I think a woman is very nurturing. I look at women as very nurturing. Like things that I like about a woman, if you rub my head, if you like, yeah, I don't want to be like the Hulk all the time. Like if you can bring that soft side out of me and make me not be all hard, you do cook, you do clean, you do have a mindset to want to be this. I think those steps will eliminate more men from cheating, but you also on the back end got some dudes who gonna just cheat to cheat. And that's where I can't defend the guys. Like, that's just on you, bro. You just can't keep it in your pants. But for the guys who are good, such as you, is like you're looking for something, and if I'm wrong, whatever, you're looking for a woman who can educate your mind, stimulate your mind, put you on free game sometimes. Cause like you don't want to always have to educate a woman. You don't want to always have to give them free game. We would love for sometimes for us, our women, to be like, you know what, babe, you shouldn't move like that. Like you shouldn't go that way. I think if you go over here, that might not be the right move. So it's like, okay, let me listen to her. Or she cooks, she cleans, she goes to school, she's very intelligent, she has goals and this and this. It's going to make you be like, man, this woman here has the potential to be my wife, and I would love to show her to my mother. Because if I show her to my mother, it's like, I already know I put her through this boot camp. It's like practice. I can't go to game 7 in basketball and play the dang Warriors if you ain't practice right and do all the steps right. So it's like, I'm gonna put you through practice as you should with me. And then once I see these things and these traits, I want to always take you to my mother, and that should eliminate me for wanting to cheat. I took you to my family's house. And if you notice, guys don't take these girls to the family's house because like they don't even see them being with them. So if a man takes you to their family's house, you got a good sign of hopefully the guy not cheating. Hopefully.
Man, boy, London was coming in.
I was coming with that one. Today I was talking.
Bars today. That boy's on fire right now.
Today I'm coming.
Listen, but you're absolutely right. As far as how I am in my thought process, I mean, like you said, like you have to be presentable to mama and to the whole family. And the point you brought up about, women not being able to keep their men loyal, I think is an interesting point. I kind of do agree because like, okay, so what I look at is, okay, a woman who's able to keep her man loyal to her isn't out here saying, oh, well, he has to earn, my femininity. He has to earn the box. I'm gonna hold the box against him, if he's not doing what I want. Like, and those are some of the qualities I see women kind of highlight and talk about as far as like how they're gonna run their relationship or how they're gonna be towards their, spouse. I'm like, well, that's kind of goofy to me. I'm like, you're literally pushing them away and then asking why is he disloyal. It's like, you're not really doing things to keep him not looking anywhere else, like you said, right? But one thing about this whole loyal man concept, though, I want to ask you this question. Let's take 2 gentlemen out here. One gentleman works a regular 9-to-5 job, maybe works, corporate America, or even he's a teacher. Bottom line, his salary is under 60K. The other man makes 100K. Let's say corporate executive or
no leverage.
Yeah. Okay. And so you already know where I'm going with that. First off, do those men have the same pool of women looking at them more likely than not? And do you think those guys are going to be loyal in the same way to their women?
No. What is the quote? I might be butchering this quote, but they say you're only as loyal as your options. Like if you have a woman, if you're making 150,000 and you making 50,000, that's putting you in a different tax bracket. It depends how, honestly, in this generation, it's kind of different, but it depends how you display your money. Now, if that guy we're around social media now. If that guy has a BMW or a Mercedes and that guy has a Toyota Camry, he can pull more women because of that Charger and his style off of social media era. This guy is the Camry guy, and he could be a good guy. He could be loyal. He could be this, but he won't get that opportunity because of he doesn't have that status. So I think where I kind of want to go with this is like the guy that makes 150,000 can cheat more than a guy that doesn't, that makes the 55,000, because it's like she's going to look at it like, well, he's financially stable. If they think, to me, they think really wrong. They think if he leaves, he might get another fine girl, or just like, I think that's probably the only 2 I would probably say is like, he doesn't need me, or just he's going to keep getting more women. So it's like they will stay because of they know he's going to get multiple women. Whereas the other girl, like, he's a bum. He going to need me before I need him. And it's like you should leave off of morals and values. And that's kind of why I teach women, or I tell women, that the only way a man's going to stop cheating, in my personal opinion, from experiences with me, is for a woman to walk away. And that man has to be in love with you. That man's in love with you and you walk away and you go on to something else and leave him. I think that can be a changed man. But these women aren't leaving because it's like, I don't know why they don't leave. Like, I can't explain to you why a man would cheat on somebody and then you just keep taking it. Like, at that point, after the first couple times, it ain't even his fault no more. It's your fault after that. Like, you just letting him just cheat over and over. You're like, well, I love him. Well, shit. I guess love is stronger than cheating. I don't know.
Here's what I think. I think the man who makes 150K that cheats, the woman inherently knows that she can't downgrade the lifestyle if she leaves, right? So in other words, she can't find another guy who makes 150K as easily as a guy who can make 50K, right? So it behooves her more so to stick with the guy who makes more money, can afford more things, can afford to take care of her a little bit easier than the guy who maybe is loyal, but doesn't give her the same access to resources and the same lifestyle that she's enjoying currently. Like, to put up like an example of this is from a movie, but it kind of does highlight even, this is a movie that was ahead of its time. Remember that movie Joanna Man?
Yeah.
And Joanna Man, when he got released from the NBA, they foreclosed on his house. They took all of his stuff away.
And everybody just left.
And everybody just left, including his female. And his female even said, the only reason why I was with your lying, cheating ass was because you was in the NBA and you was rich. But now I don't need to be around you no more. So you see how that status sort of
that would have made me mad, because even though he was, if you went off of the Joanna Man, which is true, because you got to sometimes listen to movies, because they're not just pulling this out of their ass just to be like, well, we're gonna make this story up. This actually happens. Like, he over here dancing on other girls while she in the house, and she just taking, like, girl, but he making millions. So it's like, she said, but I'm gonna stay in this house with this big old mansion. It's like, to me, you a sellout in my eyes. It's like you selling out to yourself, because it's like, if you staying here just because I can provide for you, you don't respect yourself enough. Damn. How do you expect me to respect you if you don't respect yourself? I would rather stay in a car and sleep under a bridge before I see a woman just keep cheating on me. One, I'm being in jail probably. Two is like, you're not about to sit here and just cheat on me and I keep knowing. Like, that just, to me, it's my fault at that point. So that was an example. So
my question to you then, though, do you think a man's definition of loyal and a woman's definition of loyal are two different things? And we look at it two different ways? Because I think that's what you're talking about. You see it as, if you were to come home and see your woman cheat, like, that's just not going to happen. No. To me, and what I hear a lot, and I want to hear what you think about this, many guys I hear say that a man's definition of being loyal, and this kind of goes into the theme of what we're talking about today. A man's definition of being loyal isn't a matter of him not sleeping with other women, but him choosing for you to be his partner, his wife, and him being willing to share his resources and take care of you. That's him showing loyalty and devotion, or even maybe putting his life on the line to fight for you, right? Defend you in public. Like, that's a man showing his loyalty, because the fact of the matter is, this, I mean, whether it's right or wrong, is actually interesting. I mean, I want to know what you hear, but there are many guys who would say every woman, has a box that, we can have sex with, but a woman who really can hold me down and a woman who really can prove that she's wifely is not really too common, right? To understand the type of person that he is as a man and to be willing to, hold him down. That's more rare to find than a woman that, you can just simply have sex with. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, for me, I want to say it does depend on the man, the guy, how he was raised. For me, I fit that category, what you said, of showing my loyalty, how I provide, how I can educate you, how I can make you become more successful financially, how I can protect you. People say it's like I don't know, maybe, what's the word? Maybe you could help me fill it in. Like, maybe I'm just like, my ego's too, I don't know if it's ego or just whatever, but like, just the way I want to make sure that person is great without me. Like, if I was happen to pass away and I do have kids, can you stand on all 10 and protect my kids.
Mhm.
So for me, while I'm here, I want to make sure that I can be loyal to you in that way.
Mhm.
So if something goes down or I'm not at the house with an emergency, you know how to kick it into gear or whatever. But on the back end, you might have been raised to say, I love you, this and this, not cheat. You never seen your dad cheat. So that might be their loss. I think it's two sides to the coin. But for me, I agree with that one. Whereas women, they just kind of want to see loyalty from a care for me mentally. Like my homegirl was talking to me about, she just actually broke up with her boyfriend. She was like, I just want somebody to care about me. I want somebody to just support my dreams, physically, mentally lift me up. And she's like, don't cheat. So I guess it's kind of the same, but like in a way, I think the main thing, like our main topic, is they just want us to be loyal. Like if you, let's put it this, if you was a kind of a horrible person to your woman, but you didn't cheat, I think a lot of these women will stay. I think if you just,
I think old school women would have done that, but new school tells no, I'm serious. I think new school tells you to always have one foot in, one foot out, both men and women. So if anybody feels like I'm not kind of feeling this, they're at the first thing smoking. I think like men and women both have that.
But do you know why they're 1 foot in and 1 foot out though? Probably
why.
And I said this, I think in the second episode we had, I said, everybody is hurt.
That's true. Absolutely.
I said, everybody is hurt. And I said, don't get into a relationship or try to get into one until you properly sit your butt down and figure yourself out as a person, because nobody wants to keep hearing the baggage that you bring into a new relationship. Like I've folded so many good, probably women in relationships because of me being hurt by my ex and them coming back and saying, you're not emotionally available. I'm like, what are you talking about? But I'm so clogged up of feelings that I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. So that's why I think we're going wrong, is like, why do we have 1 foot in, 1 foot out? So we just protecting ourselves. Like we're preparing for the worst. And that's when it's going to be the worst.
No, that's spot on. I agree with you 100%. That, like you said, everybody interact, especially if they've had a relationship before where it didn't work out. Everybody takes on that new experience, that new relationship with the same mental construct of the last relationship, right? Oh, are you going to be the same? I'm going to look at you in the same way that other person treated me, because I don't want that other result to happen again, right? So like you could meet a woman tomorrow and maybe she just broke. That's why it's like you got to be careful with rebounds, they say, because they easily are going to be like, well, this person did this, so how do I know London's not going to do it to me? How do I know Mike's not going to do it to me? Rather than saying, you know what, let me take a step back, let me heal, let me analyze and take accountability for where I didn't let things, I didn't patch things up when things were going wrong in the relationship. What did I do wrong in the relationship? Taking accountability. I'm going to bring that word back and kind of say, okay, I could have done this better. Okay, now that I understand where I went wrong, where things went wrong, I can move on and it's a clean blank slate with this new person. Instead, everybody's like, nope, I'm still dealing with baggage. I still got skeletons in the closet. I still have this negative outlook. And so therefore, I'm not going to give myself to anybody. And I can understand that, because I even kind of go through those same things, like just keeping it a buck of like, I'm closed off because I've seen betrayal. I've experienced betrayal. So it's like, to fully like, I don't think I'll ever be able to be emotional with a person again. Like, I don't think that's happening.
You know what changed me? It's crazy. It's changed me probably like a month ago. I don't know if you saw it. So I thought Medea's was over. I thought the movie was done. But I guess he made a new one called Medea Homecoming.
Yeah.
I got to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And I swear, see, I'm telling you, God talked to you in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
He said, Medea sat on there, she was talking to somebody. She says, don't be afraid to love again. Because I'm in the same boat as you at this point. I'm like, man, forget all these women. I'm never about to do this. She said, don't be afraid to love. I'm butchering this again. Don't be afraid to love, basically because you're going to keep blocking out your blessings by having a new one come in. And then you're just having that 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And she said, don't be afraid to love again. If that don't work, don't be afraid to love again. She's like, because love is a beautiful thing. Me personally, I ain't going to keep doing that. I got one more time to love. And we ain't doing 3 to 4 times. I'm doing one more time. If that don't work, I'm out here in the streets. I'm letting y'all know right now. If somebody hurt me next time, we're not playing this no more. I'm done. Y'all about to see Demon Me. and it doesn't matter no more. So I think I'm gonna give myself to somebody soon. So I'm taking applications, ladies. So just
All right, and go ahead and plug your Instagram so they can reach out and DM
yeah,
you.
man. Y'all follow me at London, LONDON, like the city, underscore Ogletree, OGLETREE. I'm definitely taking applications, but you gotta just be prepared that you're gonna have to really show what you can bring to the table. Just like I gotta show what I gotta bring. My analogy is if I'm lifting the left side of the couch, you got to lift the right side. We can't just be dragging the left side up all day no more. I can't be Captain Save, you know what. So yeah, we're gonna get back to this podcast. You know, we're gonna keep talking about this great.
Shameless plug there by Mr. London Ogletree, but
Yeah.
most definitely though. Sticking to the topic at hand though, I think what we just talked about though is that unfortunately loyalty does not look the same for most men, right? There are some people who say loyalty is a matter of not cheating. There are others who say loyalty is a matter of him, providing resources to the woman.
Right.
Now you brought up I don't cheat, right? I don't do that. Again, from my vantage point, my dad didn't do it, but I also understood, especially as I got older, my dad had a wife that was extremely devoted and loyal to him, always was in his corner, always had his back, right? So like when I used to ask him, I'm like, Dad, yeah, you never, as a guy, looked anywhere else, never thought. He was like, why? Why would I? Like that to me doesn't make sense. One, he said, your mom was always a nice person. Your mom was always a good person. Mom cooked, like your mom took care of us as a family, like especially anything I didn't, if I wasn't able to do it, she did it. So it's like I didn't feel the need to look anywhere else, like you said earlier. And it kind of, my whole thing is I don't feel like it's worth the potential headache of okay, that one time lay, and then let's say the woman finds out about it and then she doesn't trust you anymore, or she has a negative reaction that now you deal with more headache with getting that one time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, it's better to be loyal. And I would want my woman to be loyal to me, right? It's easy to say, well, I can go out and smash other people, but she can't. But that's a double standard that I think women aren't going for these days. So I'm just like, well, if I want to be loyal, hopefully, huh?
They going for it. It just for me, it like I said, that you really have to be in love with a woman, and for them, I could truly say, out of all my friend groups, we've all, yeah, we've all been in situations, and I think my ex was the only one to leave me out of all the girls, and I'm thinking it got to the point where I got so comfortable with my stuff and how I was moving. I was like, shoot, she ain't gonna leave me if I do this. And then one day, boom, she just left. And it was like,
out on you, man.
yeah, like, why are you leaving? Like I ain't do nothing that bad. I just cheated. See, and that's where the problem is. So I had to sit down with myself and be hurt. I'm like, she gave up when stuff was hard. No, she gave up because you cheated. It's very simple. Right. Even though she wasn't moving right sometimes, that does not give me the right to keep doing this. And I always tell women, the only way you're going to change this man from cheating, unless he's just a dog, and that's how you know you need to leave, is if he truly loves you, he's willing to change. If you cheat, does not mean you love your woman less than. It's just people think what they think. Whereas like I think you can love a woman and still cheat, but it's for them to change and not do it again to either you or the next woman. You have to put your foot like on the other side of the coin. My mom did everything for us. Same thing like your mom, but my dad was just he out here doing his thing. Like, this is a good question. Like, would you, as a kid, I'm airing all my pop stuff out, but hey, whatever, it's my podcast. So I'm at the house and I see condoms in his briefcase. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell my mama because I'm in high school and I just know she ain't about to leave. So why would I put that into my mama's head, knowing dang well if she does know, she ain't gonna leave? That is selfish of me in my head. So I just let it be. And I just never let that be. Like I told her eventually, but I mean, like it was already over. It was 6-7 years after, so she can't get mad no more. So to me, it was just like some men just cheat to cheat, and some men just like having fun, or some men like to do it on boys' trips or guys' trips, or they're like doing it like periodically. They don't like just doing it over weekend. Some people just like doing it once a year. So it's like, do you stay with that guy? My question to you,
Mhm.
Do you stay with the guy who cheats once every 5 years?
Well, you're asking if I was a
If
woman.
you're a woman in their perspective versus, now I'm not gonna say versus, but do you have more of a empathy for that man if he, because they all say all men cheat. So if that's the case, then do you stay with that man if he cheats once every 5 years? And he has the potential to stop when he gets tired and old.
I'm not gonna think he's gonna stop if he's done it once. I don't think he's gonna stop. That's a tough question for me to ask, given that I am a guy and I know how guys think. What I would say is, as long as I don't have to find out about it, if as long as he doesn't bring that baggage home, as long as he doesn't come home with anything that he didn't leave with, I mean, if I can't prove it, then I'm not gonna stress myself out over it. As long as he's still doing what he has to do as a husband. If he goes out on the boys' trip, then it is what it is.
Through dang phones and stuff.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. See, like I wouldn't go for that. Like any woman asking for my phone. Oh well, okay. Here's the thing: if a woman asks for my phone, you can have it, but as soon as you open it, as soon as you unlock it, you've now unlocked my trust. Like now you, boom, trust is gone because now you're saying you don't trust me, right? So as soon as you give it back, it's done. Like that's how I am when it
you can
comes.
be so manipulative though with that though. Like I used to be horrible, y'all. I'm changed now, but I used to say lines like that. Once you go through my phone, then the trust is over. So now you like, to me, if you got a reason to go through a motherfucker's phone, like you should definitely go through it if you have reasoning, in my opinion. I don't want you to go through it, but
I don't think she should go through it. I don't. If you,
she shouldn't. But
you're
it's
at the
like,
point, if you're at the point that you don't trust him enough to where you want access to his phone, you don't trust him. Period. And if you don't trust him, now you're going and searching for stuff. The sooner you,
what if you
the
don't
second
trust
you
him?
go, the second you go searching for something and you don't find it, that'll to me only increase the anxiety because now you know you have access to his phone whenever he wants to. That's just how I am on it. Like you're only asking for more issues if you ask for, like, that's his phone, that's your phone. I'm not gonna ask for my woman's phone, right? I'm not gonna ask for none of that stuff. So I would hope she gives me that same respect, right? Because I've had women who've wanted access to my phone before. That never made it better. It always just was like, I don't trust you even more. I don't trust you even more. Oh, wait a minute. And I never did anything. Like every time they'd be like, oh, I think you're doing this. No, no, you want to go ask her? Like, do you want to go ask the, like, oh, no, it's not like that. Okay. So that's my thing.
Because like me, I'm avoiding asking, you want to go ask the girl? I'm not asking that because I see on the back end of it's like, what if she don't go through it, but you still doing what you're doing? And be like, if you go through my phone, it breaks trust. But you know dang well you being dirty.
Well, then that goes to the man that you're dating, to a female. No, I'm serious. Like if you know, okay, this is what I'll say in terms of men loyalty. A man will be as loyal as his options, his sexual discipline, and his infatuation toward his woman. Those are the three things, right? Is he truly in love with you? Are you attracted to him? Like, are you still physically appealing to him still? Right. And then on top of that, does he have the discipline not to go out and smash everything that he looks at? Because I think that is something where it's like guys have to be careful about that type of stuff. Like, is it really worth going out and smashing every woman that you see if you can? Like, not all money ain't good money, and not all of that is worth it. I'm just gonna try to keep PG. So, it's like, I think if a woman truly wants a man to be loyal, she has to look at the lifestyle that guy is living and not try to change him. I think that's more so the issue I see is that, oh, he's promiscuous now, but maybe I can change him. No, if he's a promiscuous guy, believe that. And, you have to ask yourself, okay, if he can provide a good lifestyle, can you take him maybe stepping on you once in a while? If you can't, then go towards a guy who's going to be more likely to be loyal. A guy who's more likely to be loyal, though, and this is the thing guys try to drill to women or try to tell women, is that that's usually going to be a more average guy, average earning, maybe not average in mindset, maybe not average in looks, but average earning, because he doesn't have access to the same network, the same types of women, is what I would say.
Right. That's a good point. Honestly, it's like Yeah, you're only as loyal as your options. So
Yeah, because like okay, like for example, a guy who doesn't have women looking at him, women approaching him, like that's his only woman is just his wife,
right.
isn't gonna have the availability, the opportunity as frequently to go out and step out. It's just a numbers game at that point. But a guy who makes a high income, like why do you think they say all rappers and athletes cheat? Well, they're always going to parties, they're always going to sections, they're always going to clubs, and it's just oops, she just happened to be there. Or they always have some house party where different women are invited there, model status women, it's beautiful women, and they got the status, they got the rollies, they got the watches, they're rolling up in the bands like you talked about. Hey, do you want to come back to our after party? Oops, you know what I'm saying?
My question is this though: these
Yeah.
are two guys I want to use.
Yep.
Do you think LeBron or
Oh,
Barack
you
Obama?
read my mind, brother, because I was about to go there next.
Do
Go
you
ahead.
think LeBron James or Barack Obama cheats? They could be a great salesman.
And I think that's what they are. Look, I don't know, but I would say, yeah, I think they are. Well, Barack not as easily. I think Barack no, LeBron maybe, but LeBron also respects Savannah enough to make sure that he's not going to do that with any woman who would get him in trouble. Barack no, because he was the president of the United States. If he gets caught doing, and this is the thing, he had way more to lose because of his image. Like you're the president of the United States of America. If you get caught cheating or having infidelity, you saw what they did to Bill Clinton, right? So,
I think LeBron bigger than them.
yeah. So
But
now, okay.
Keep going.
So to answer your question, I think LeBron may have stepped out on Savannah, maybe not. We don't know, but I think he at least didn't do it in a way that would have disrespected Savannah, and Savannah knows that LeBron loves her and loves their children more than anything. So he wouldn't do anything to try to embarrass them.
It's hard to not get caught though. Like
that's what I'm saying. So
if you messing with LeBron James, do you think a girl not gonna be like, I didn't got with him? I got to tell somebody. If I know if I got with Dame, Rihanna or Beyonce or somebody, I'm coming to Lifetime. I'm telling y'all, and I'm airing it out. Look, I didn't got with her last week. She cheated on Jay. She was up here in Houston, and it just happened. Yeah. I'm telling somebody. You think I was gonna keep that to myself? So, like to me, like Kevin Hart got caught, and I think he kind of acts similar to like LeBron, how he like carries himself, but he got caught. So it's like.
Not exactly. I think Kevin Hart is a little bit more boisterous. Like LeBron is kind of like extroverted in terms of him trying to be marketable and trying to be an ambassador. But in terms of what he does with his family, like he's very devoted and kind of keeps his eyes forward. Now, obviously, he likes to have fun, right? And that's what people like to clown him about it. But it's like, no, when it comes time to like support them and everything, I think he's very much focused. Same with Kevin, but Kevin kind of does things a little bit more wildly, I think, in my opinion. Now, I got one in for you. Kobe Bryant and Vanessa.
My dog, don't be talking about dog.
No, RIP to him. But like, okay, so he was a guy who had a past, and he got with Vanessa, and they had 4 daughters. Do you think he cheated while he was still with Vanessa? Because you look at her and their dynamic, same thing, kind of with LeBron and Savannah. It's very.
I mean, that's actually out there though. Like, I think Kobe had sex with like 100 and some women in one season. I forgot what season it was.
But it was okay then. That and Savannah still stayed with him. Why? Is what I want you to answer then.
I mean, so she took. I think she took 3 of the houses, and then she was about to get a divorce. I think Kobe like bought her like $1 million ring or something. Mm-hmm. But it's like at the end of the day, they got with each other at the age of 17 or 18. I think it was 18. You're hurt that he did it, but it goes back to he has more leverage. So that's she messing with to me, in a lot of people's eyes, the greatest basketball player in the league at that time. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, any man I go to at this point is definitely underachieving unless I go to Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, LeBron. I got to go to one of them. I got to go to somebody on that caliber to get to that level. I got At that time, I have 2 kids with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I got 2 kids with him, and I love him. I'm mad at him, but it's like I might forgive him because he's Kobe and I love him. So of course the love comes into it, but also the status has something to do with it as well. Like if he worked at Walmart and worked that goddamn Wiener Schnitzel or something, like she out. So, but it's like, I mean, I don't blame her for not leaving. Like, why would you leave him?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Again, I'm just asking as a scenario because kind of transitioning to the next point. There are many people who would argue, okay, what constitutes a man cheating? One, like, is it just a matter of him sleeping around, or is it actually going out and providing a lifestyle to another woman? Right? There's that, and then there are those who say, men say this to me, right? A guy, if he has the options, if he has the leverage, if he has the clout, kind of should be allowed to sleep around if he can afford it, right? And that is what it is. That's just the question I get asked. So I'm here to ask you that. What do you think about those two statements?
That last one, I don't agree with at all. No,
Yeah, I don't either. But I mean,
we should not be able to cheat because of how much money we have at that point. But to me, it's like what my situation was. My ex told me that I came back all these times because it was just texting majority of the time. And like I was just out there texting girls, but I never went through physically. And she said, once I figured out about physical, the aspect of it, she says, I knew you weren't just giving it to me. And like, I wasn't that only person you wanted to give it to. So she was like, once that happened, I just was like, okay, well, if he would do the texting and that, what else would he do? And how he keeps saying he's done, he's not. So if you providing a whole lifestyle for a different woman in a family, then I don't know. That's, to me, that's like a deep, deep cheat. Like if I'm paying for my household and my wife is sitting here and then I'm in Philadelphia and paying for another girl's stuff and her kids.
Yeah.
I have basically 2 families at that point. And it's like, oh, but she's just my main wife, and then you're my second wife. Like, I don't know what the heck. To me, it's like a woman should definitely leave. But at that point, if you could do that, you're actually rich. So
yeah,
it's like I said, you're not respecting yourself. To me, you don't have morals and values. But I also say you're not dumb either, because I'm probably gonna stay too. But if I was a woman, I'm just gonna be like, okay, when he go back to Philly, I'm gonna have me a little side or something. A side gonna come back to our crib. That's what I'm gonna do if I'm a woman.
Ooh, that's not the same to many guys, is what they say to you.
Huh?
That's not the same to many guys.
And if I was a woman, I would say, I don't give a dang what's the same. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a side piece, or I wouldn't even tell you I'll have a side piece. But that's what a lot of women probably doing it, honestly.
No, that's what they do. I get told that's what they do. Rather than leave the guy, no, I'm just gonna have my own, and I'm gonna
okay, fine. You want to go?
I'm like, see, the reason is, okay, when women tell me that though, I'm like, oof, be careful, because why I say that's not the same is, first off, you're doing it out of spite. One, right? Like the intention is a little bit vindictive. So I'm like, okay, that's one thing. To where at least the guy can use that against you. Don't let you be with a toxic guy and then he takes that out of hand, right? That's one thing. And then it's like, again, us being guys, what do you say to this? If you cheat and let's say you get pregnant, now I don't know whether that baby is mine or not. Because that's why, disloyalty and like cheating is different for men. So what do you say to that comment then?
What's your question again? So
you said if you were a woman, I would just go out and have me a side piece as well, right?
Right.
That's what you said.
Right.
So I'm saying to the guys who say, well, that's different. One, because you did your cheating out of spite. And then if you get pregnant by the side piece, I don't know that that's my child. So then what would you say to that? Because that's usually the argument men use as far as like women like cheating or disloyalty being not okay. So I'm just asking you what you think about that.
One, I've been telling men this. Y'all just gotta get with the program. all women do stuff out of spite. Y'all just need to get that in y'all heads. If we do something, but on the backside of it, I agree with women on this part. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I wouldn't have done that if you were doing what you were supposed to be doing. So I'm being spiteful, but why am I being spiteful? Because you doing something. But then on the back end, I come back to the guy's side, like, you just did this because I did this, so your morals and values aren't great. So it's like, two, if you got pregnant by him, I'm actually gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh. I'm spiteful too. I'm childish as hell. I'm gonna say that's what you get. Now that's your baby. That's your baby, and then that's his baby. And then I'm gonna get a pregnancy. I mean, not a pregnancy test. I'm gonna get a child, was that DNA test, and then see who's
Paternity test.
We're gonna get the baby, see who the dad is, and then if it's not mine, I'm gonna say that's tragic. You should have stayed in your lane and mind your business. But I definitely agree with women saying, like, we say it's different. Like, I think we're starting to use that to our advantage now, like, because we can just say it now, like, it's different, like, and it's starting to like get old in the sense. Cause I'm like, okay, if we keep saying this, y'all, it's like they're doing this out of spite because what we're doing. Right. My only thing now, since I've grown up with women, is they don't bring the dynamic that a woman once brought to the table. And that's all there. To me, that's all women are missing now. Like, they not missing no loyalty factor. To me, I think a woman will ride for you. But these women now is saying, I was arguing with my best friend, that's a girl, like literally like 2 days ago. I was actually at work pissed off. She's over like, it's 2022. I don't care if it was 2085. Like, I don't care what it was. Like, you should still want to do those things that women usually do, because that's just life. I don't know what to explain it, but like, for a man, that means so much to us if you can provide those things and also become a boss chick. Don't be talking about this hot girl something. I'm gonna be a boss chick because Megan Thee Stallion, y'all. She making millions while y'all over here taking that line and ain't doing nothing. It's almost like a broke dude talking about, I got a bunch of money and I got all these cars and don't have nothing in his bank account. That's how I look at these women now. Like, oh, I'm a hot girl. No, you have nothing. Your backside ain't it. Like, we got to get in reality now. Like, now it's like, you got to get in reality. It's like, I can't sit here and say, that's why I don't really like wearing all these, like, I do wear jewelry, I wear different stuff. But if somebody asks me, like, did you get this? Is this real? Is this like, is your earrings like, I'm like, no, it's not. I don't have no problem telling people like, this is this is that. Like, what I value is shoes. All my shoes are real. I'm never gonna wear no fake shit. That's just me. But it's like, we live in the era of like, everybody's trying to outdo one another.
Yep. One-upmanship and artificial interest.
It's so like artificial. And it's like, now these women are like, I'm here to be a boss chick, make all the money. I want to make this. Okay, great. You go pay the bills. You go pay for the kids' college. You go pay for the kids' cars. You go pay for all that. And I'll go out here and cook the food. I'll go pick up the stuff. I'll go wash your drawers. I'll go do all the stuff you want me to do. And you go pay for all that. So I guarantee I'm taking that every time versus paying all these expenses.
A guy would take that willingly, because that's honestly, to them, they would see that as much easier to do. If all you mean to tell me all I gotta do is get up and clean and take care of the house, and
then once
you go work. Wait, but the problem is they know a woman won't respect them the same way.
Exactly. You know why we can't do that? That's why we got to work. That's why we got to be. We can't be chunky, all this and just blubber this. We got to put ourselves in the best situations now, because we cannot cut no corners as men.
Most definitely.
Y'all women can. I'm fine with telling my woman, you can stay. No, I'm not actually. Not right now.
Now go ahead and say what you was gonna say. I want to hear.
I was gonna say you can stay home, but no, you can't. Put your butt up. Let's go work. Let's go do something. Maybe when I make all the money in the world, you can. But if you are staying at home, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But if it's 7 or 8 in the morning, you are a stay-home mom. You clean, you cook, you do all these things, and You have the rest of the day till 3 o'clock to go pick up the kids. I don't care if you go to the mall. I don't care if you go to this, but it's like I'm asking you a lot because you got 2 hours to maybe clean, whatever. I'm working. You have my cards. I'm gonna say if you being a traditional housewife, if you want to go by that thing, I don't even think you should do that no more as a woman. But if you are, you're using my card. You go shop. You go get your nails done. You go get pampered. Whatever you want to do. Then you go to the gym. You pick up the kids. Is it wrong for me to ask for a home cooked meal? Am I wrong for asking that? And then me, I'm not even asking for a woman to be a stay-home. I want a woman to work, have entrepreneur goals, and be a boss like a Beyonce or like a Jay-Z. I kind of want that relationship more than anything. But it's like, if you're not doing nothing, you might as well do the housely wife shit. Like, I mean, like, you're not doing anything. So I don't know. That's why I stand on it.
That boy had to get some. Had to get some.
Yes, I just had this argument with my girl best friend, and she really had me hot. So I'm like,
so wait, her argument was what? That is 2022, and therefore what? What does that mean to her?
They're saying it's all over the place. It's like one of her points was the men ain't this, like men ain't ish. The requirements for a man rises because somebody she was with did extra steps of what a normal man would do. So now the requirements changed. And she's like, why can't a woman be super independent and want to pay for things? And she got mad when a man that she previously talked to didn't like educate her on things, didn't uplift her to like make her want to think outside the box. So basically, like you said, once you're in her mind, that guy was a bum. But on the back end of it, I talked to her friend. Her friend was in a relationship for 9 years, I told you about. And I told her, I don't think you're over your situation. Why don't you figure out yourself as a woman and you get your financial situation right? Stack up, staying with your parents, because that's not bad to stay with your parents. Stack up, make sure your money's right. Learn about a Roth IRA, learn about mutual funds, learn about some stocks. Let's learn about something that really matters in this world. And then get your stuff right. And then you don't need a man for nothing.
Okay.
And so I educated her on that. And then she was like, well, you basically told her all the things that was wrong with her and made her feel bad. I said, no, I had an adult conversation with her and she wasn't ready for that.
Well, what it sounds like, okay, so what I hear is 2022. Okay, so she asked, one of your points was the next guy, her standards or her requirements for a man increases because somebody else did something else. Why didn't you stay with that?
I tell you, clean the sheets.
Okay. Why didn't you stay with that guy who cleaned the sheets if he was doing all that extra stuff? That's my first question I would ask. Okay. All right. You can't change your standards for other men because one other guy did. That was that guy. You can't expect every other guy to be that good. That's what that's the reality. That's the real, ish. Because if you keep trying to raise the goalposts and change it, it's like, well, you tried that and it didn't work for you. So why would I have to pay more of a cost for something that somebody else got at a lesser expense? Right. That's my first question. And then it's like, okay, I've always said there's no problem. I fully advocate for women to work and to have businesses, have careers, be boss chick, all of that. The problem that happens as a result is they think that can come at the expense of their respect for their partner. I have this, therefore, when you want me to cook, it's like, no, you cook, or no, you do this. No, you. It's like, well, you have to understand a guy is going to want something as well. A guy has his requirements he wants you to bring to the table. Relationships are about compromise, not my way or no way. I think that's the thing that both us men and women both get confused or we get wrong, is that it's not like because I work, therefore I have more leverage, or I don't have to respect my partner. Again, going back to that word empathy. We both have roles, we both have stuff that we have established. So, as long as you have those rules clearly defined. And for me, right, going back to the whole loyalty thing, again, I think women have to understand every woman has sex that they can offer. But it's the little things like being able to cook, like being willing to, maybe like give him a massage or listen to him, after work or whatever the case may be. Like it's the little things that are going to set you apart. And those are the things that are going to inspire loyalty out of a guy. It's not just your sex. Because I hear every woman say, well, I get this, that should be enough. It's like, no, because everyone else has that. What sets you apart from every other female in the world that also has a vagina?
Like if I walk in the house and smell some food or something, like
Well, I ain't finna complain. We
I ain't
both
about to
think
say
say
nothing
nothing. It's
wrong.
like, all right, shoot, I
I
don't even
got
know
the
what's
food on
going
the
on today,
table.
but
She
I'm
got
good.
my plate ready. Man, I was at the same girl's house, and
Yeah.
one of my other homegirls, she's like, she was talking to my homeboy. She's like, "You want me to make your plate?" I've not heard that since Lily, my mom.
Hey,
I was like, I
wife
was
her
raised,
immediately.
I was raised on that. You want me to make your plate? I was like, what?
Right.
And then I was like, this is crazy. And all the rest of the girls with their man just like, all right, go get your own stuff. But it's like people are like, well, this is not the 60. Why I gotta make your plate? If you had a long day, you want me to rub your feet, or you want me to go give you a massage, or you want me to do something for you in a different way, it's okay. But when I need something, see, we're just as men, we're supposed to just shut up and take it because we're just supposed to be the dominant figure.
And
No,
I
no.
say, okay, fine. It's 2022, no problem. You don't have to make a man a plate, but understand there's a woman out there who will. And that woman out there who will, she's going to be the one who's more likely going to get the commitment from him.
That's
That's what
why
I
I say
tell every
don't
that's what I
need.
tell every woman in 2022 says that type of stuff.
I'm
You
gonna say
don't
it's
have to.
2020. That's good. Obi, good stuff. Because now I'm gonna say, don't call me to make this like mount this TV, do some like do anything like handy, like change your oil, change your brakes. I'm not doing it. It's 2022. Go get you do this since we're all equal now with that stuff. But yes, actually, thank you. I'm glad you said that. You just opened my eyes. I'm
What have I
being
always said? I reciprocate what I'm given. So, like you said, like and I've known both sides of the spectrum. I've known women, I'll never forget, like I told this story previously of one homegirl of mine who I remember I washed my own plate because that's how I was raised. Her mom made my plate for me. I said thank you, and thank you to my mom who also fixed the food. And then I got up and I was gonna wash all the plates in the sink because I was like, well, I'm the guest, and I just
there you go.
fed me. And her mom got so mad. She was like, ah, you're gonna let him wash the plate? What do you do? I'm like, oh, no, that's okay. It's like, no, 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 no. You're the guest. So those little things like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. That's white people material right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
like they don't get that though. Like it's
they don't want to get it. But see, the thing
I
is,
gave up even trying to
no,
even.
we can't give up trying because it's part of our job with this podcast, man. We try to give the gem. So again, what I say is the women who want to be married and want to listen, we're trying to tell y'all as a means to help y'all, right? The women who don't and are fixated on, I'm gonna be independent and I'm not, and I don't need a man, don't want a man, no problem. Because that's the point I get to. It's like at the end, there are some people who don't want to be helped, right? There's some people who don't want to change. There's some people who are stuck in their ways, and you can't help those people. But the people who are willing to actually listen, who are willing to be amenable to change, okay, maybe they could take something from this and they can fix their relationships or be better partners going forward. Is all we could do.
Agreed.
All righty, let's wrap this up, man. So, just on our conversation today, I guess to put a bow on it, how do you think women should inspire loyalty, and what kind of men should they look for if they want a loyal man?
My grandpa always told my mama growing up. I wasn't alive when he told her that, but he said you always he said you should always, but this is older. I'm gonna go to the 2022 version and that version. He's like, you should always get you a blue collar man. A blue collar man who's a hardworking and one that gets his hands dirty will value a woman who does, like we said, with the cooking, cleaning, and he will want to sit down versus a white collar man, corporate America. Like he's in the office all day. He might go travel and say, babe, I got a business trip, and he might go see his mistress or something. So to me, I think when you look for all seriousness, if you look for a man, study that person. Don't just I always tell women, don't just give up the box. Me personally, we got probably a different version of it. don't for me, don't give up the box. Learn that person mentally, emotionally, and just get to have that conversation.
Right.
To me, it's like, yes, sex is an important thing, but it's like once you give a man that, and this, once we already got 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it's like once I have sex with a woman, it's like I don't really care no more. So it's like I want to get to like a person first. Let me take 6 months to 8 months to learn you first. And don't get me wrong, if we do have sex in that 6 to 8 months, I'm not gonna fault you. But the first week, like, dang.
What I'll say is that as soon as you give a guy a box, ladies, it's then he's going to think more likely than not it's on you to inspire him to be loyal, not him to inspire you to be loyal once he's smashed. Is what I say, right? So no matter when you decide to have sex with him, first off, I say don't get with a guy who you're not truly attracted to. If you're gonna go out here thinking you're gonna get a free meal and just play him along and string him along and then maybe give it to him later, you're gonna only create a vindictive guy, and then you're gonna wonder why he smashed you and didn't want to stick around. So first off, get with a guy who you actually have genuine interest with, and then from there, understand once you give him the box, then from there he's going to think it's more likely on you to show interest and to inspire him to be loyal, not him to inspire you to be loyal, is what I would tell you. That's at least the way you can go about it. And then from there, it's just a matter of just proving that you can be girlfriend material, wife material, whatever you want out of that. If you even want that, if you just know that, you just want to have a casual thing, there's nothing wrong with that. But if know what you want out of the interaction, and then try to embody that type of person, is what I would say.
You came with the bars today. I give you that one.
I appreciate that, my brother. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to help the culture out by dropping these gems. Is all, man. All right, man. So that'll wrap up this week's conversation. And, this is something we'll still touch on, coming forward. This is just the beginning. We just wanted to open the conversation up this week. I thought it would be a good conversation, a good topic that definitely needed to be addressed. But, just like we always say, continue to engage with us on social media. You can catch me at ob.mike56 on IG. Tap in with us on Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, all of your listening platforms with us. Tap in with us and, let us know what y'all want to hear from us. Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and all your podcasting platforms. Help us boost in the algorithm, help us get engaged, and help us, sort of spread the message of what we're trying to do here, man. London, go ahead, close us out, man.
Hey, man, just y'all go follow me at London, LONDON _OGLETREE. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for giving us some love. Like Obi said, go follow us at all social media platforms that he mentioned earlier. But just going into just recapping and going over all this, honestly, just find who you want in life and don't play with people's minds. Don't play with games. Just kind of figure out what you want as a person first, then go into the relationship side of it, build that friendship and build that bond with that person, and then go from it from there. So that's kind of what I got from it. If you want a loyalty person, just in general, friend, relationship, friends, whatever, just build that relationship organically and don't force nothing. Love everybody. And I definitely will be back for some more gems, and we got more to come. So
amen to that. You can catch this episode on all your listening platforms. Once again, this is 4 Inside Podcast, and much love to y'all. We out.
Probably won't. I took some risks, some people probably won't. That's how we're grateful for the fruits of all my labor. Hard to live and know you sick, I'd rather be with my creator.